All right, NAIA football fans, we are back with another edition of the NAIF Ball Flag Live Show powered by AdCraft Custom Apparel and Merch, the best in the business since 1974. A little not live today, got something actually going on a little later on, so we will get this to you. It'll come out at the same time that you expect. No Angelo today, so, going a little old school. So let's take a look at the action from this week. A couple of games where we got incomplete information, but by Jove, we got scores. Southwestern notches their first victory in program history, a 32-25 win over Cory. A nice job there by Southwestern to get off the schneid there on the first game of the season. Love to see that there. Warner continues a really dominant stretch, taking down St. Thomas as well as Thomas. Warner is hot. Hottest team in the NAIA right now. A 12-0 win over St. Thomas. So Manel notched their first win in program history. That's going to be the Life Running Eagles, a 12-0 victory over Point Kamaya Graves. Went 10 of 17 for 58 yards through the air, 58 yards through the ground, getting it done. Lisette Ruiz-Franco, 6 receptions, 29 yards, and Michaela Morgan getting it done for the Eagles. On the defensive side with 2 sacks and a pick. Unfortunately, Point very much tried, but Maddie Motts just couldn't get it put together. 22 of 36, 115 yards, but 3 interceptions. That's going to be the difference here between Life and Point. Milligan comes back into the NAIA after having a half a year off last year and gets notches the dub, a 14-0 win over Point. Bridget Kaiser, 13 of 17 for 98 yards and a pick. Kiara Guzman-Sagapolu with 3 pulls, 2 sacks, and a pass breakup. Nice job from the linebacker position. Point's going to find a way at some point, but it's going to be maybe a game or two before they are able to find that first win here. We'll see when that can occur. One big thing that we do have this week is a new top 6 here, but it's no surprise who's on top. That is going to be the Ottawa Braves, still on top of the flag football world. They notched a win this week, notched wins over Baker and over Midland, 53-6 and 45-12. There, those final scores. Kaiser with their 1-0 week, a win over Florida Memorial, stays there at second. No, wait, Thomas was in second place last. Let me actually go look at the thing because I didn't note that. Yeah, Thomas with that loss to Warner drops down from the second spot, and they lose their first place vote. Kaiser goes up 1 to take the second spot. Warner comes from that tied 6th spot all the way up to number 3 here. Thomas drops from 2nd to 4th. Kansas Wesleyan holds serve at 5th and tied with St. Thomas, who with their loss also drops to tied 5th. Say some heavy moving here as we figure out exactly who these teams are, but you got to love it as we go forward and we see who's who. I think we are starting to get an idea of who's who in NAIA football, NAIA flag football this go-round. We'll be back here after this message from our friends at at AdCraft.
So you want to create and sell custom merch for your team or business. That's exciting, but where do you begin? How much inventory should you order? How do you distribute orders? AdCraft has your answers. Streamline the way you offer custom merch by utilizing our risk-free web store service. We ship directly to each customer, and we have the fastest turnaround in the game. Raise funds for your team or get merch to your employees and patrons. Contact AdCraft today, and let's bring your merch to life.
That is exactly what they do, bringing your merch to life. They do a great job with our merch. They do a great job with my buddy John Cooper's merch, head coach down in Franklin County, Florida. Does all of his stuff through AdCraft. If you need anything in terms of your business or your actual on-the-field team, give them a call. They can get you set up with a great web store. They can get you set up with, you can even order all sorts of things through them. You can set up to have them have a store for you for the long term. They're just real good. And friendly people, NAI born and bred, they'll get you taken care of. Well, let's take a look then at what to watch for this week. Got 3 big games throughout the week, notwithstanding that about 30 minutes, St. Thomas and Florida Memorial are going to be playing in the Battle of Miami Gardens. That'll be a fun one. I'll probably have that up here to watch while I do some other stuff here. Great to have on in the background. But this Wednesday, 2/28 at 7 p.m., the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes travel to Fremont, Nebraska to take on the Midland Warriors. This is a great opportunity for Midland to establish that they are the second best team in the KCAC. No better time than to establish dominance than at the beginning of the year. Then, coming up on Friday, we have St. Thomas playing host to Weber, 2 teams that are looking to bounce back from losses. St. Thomas having that 12-0 loss against Warner, while Weber is still licking their wounds after that 51-6 loss to Thomas. Got 2 teams here that are really looking to get back on the right path. And then on Saturday, game that would feel just as home on the football field as it is the flag football field. That's going to be Kaiser playing Reinhardt, the Seahawks versus the Eagles, the Birds of Prey Classic. That is a high noon start there in Waleska, Georgia. That should have been an my bad, guys. Not as big of a Saturday slate this week, but no less fun of matchups. So before we go, let's take a look at the guys who are the team behind the team, my favorites, the patrons. They are the ones, if you want to support content like this, these are the guys you need to join. Patreon.com/NAIAFBALL. And that is going to be the following: DSU Cone, Bob Boone, Roger Meyer, Shirley LaBella, Fred Christensen, Jerry Quickle, Ace Wellen, Brett, Marty Seabolt, Nick Ryan, Hayden Freno, Kyle Gregory, Tyler Pierce, Justin Hoffman, Steve Speakman, Brian Shake, Julianne Shager, Nate Soapbeer, Stephen Cutler, Julie Lout, Tim Burrow, Dale Norton, Nathan Moore, Dylan Gonzalez, Ryan, Jason Crawford, Zach Ryer, Dustin Wilkie, Charles A. Flowers, Todd Nix, Sean Chamberlain, Debbie, Zach Lance, and Josue Trujillo. That will about do it. Let's take a look at some of the other games that are coming up. Not to say that nothing else is a what to watch for, but I mean some games that will be catching my attention. Like to, obviously, Bethel here has been suspiciously quiet. The games have been postponed, canceled, and we just haven't gotten to see the Threshers yet. They play host to Southwestern on Wednesday at 7. Keep them up on a second screen. Take a look. Kaiser plays Point at 2 p.m. Baker versus Bethel. Let's see if who's going to be the best B school, and Florida Memorial versus Weber. I'm really looking to see which one of these teams bounces back. They're both really good squads. Just looking to see if one of them can take a step forward here. We're coming up on a real big tournament in a couple weeks. Reinhardt hosting a huge flag football tournament. We'll have more on that in a couple weeks. It's going to be both JUCO teams and NAIA teams. It's going to be a fun tournament. We'll get into that when that gets a little closer, but that's going to set up some great postseason style matchups for a couple teams. Going to be a really fun time. Well, thanks again for joining me on the NAIAF Ball Live show. And, we will see y'all next week.